So the reason I came to coaching was I had goals for my business and my life, but I just didn't know how to get to them. I had gaps of knowledge in business in various areas, and I just didn't know, do I go back to school and get educated? Do I read? What do I do to gain these, I guess, to fill in the gaps and get to where I need to go? It's great to have goals, but if you don't know where you're going or how to get there, it's useless. At that point, I realized, okay, somebody who's been there, done it, and has that information would be valuable to me. And that's why I started on coaching.
Well, when I started this process, I had a business plan in one hand and a list the size of Kansas in my other hand of what to do. And what an action coach gave me is the ability to be able to narrow those down to 3 key items.
The reason I had reservations about hiring an action coach, or any coach for that matter, is pretty much the initial stigma of the cost. You know, it seemed expensive, weren't sure of the value.
Some of my initial objections to working with a coach was it was too expensive. I couldn't afford it. I don't have time. How can he really help me?
So reservations about getting started with coaching is, I think, pretty much the same for everybody. It's the cash, right? It's going to be, do I spend this money or not? And ultimately, the question really should be, can I afford not to spend it? Because of the return, that was what brought me in. Looking at the return, meeting my goals. If I was able to meet those goals, then that investment monthly was tiny compared to achieving what I wanted to achieve. And so the obstacle is always usually cash, but you gotta look at the goal and see if it's worth it.
I think the most obvious impact of working with an action coach for me has been an increase in my sales, for one, and an increase in my personal growth.
Jerry Chesler as a coach has been really phenomenal. He's very personable, very caring, and has one of the most positive attitudes that of a person that I've ever met. And for me, attitude's always been a problem. So he's very contagious with his attitude, very knowledgeable, and you know, somebody that's been very helpful with all the issues that I've gone through.
So since being a client of Action Coach, you know, first of all, our goals were kind of general, and we started defining some of our goals after working with a coach. Some were financial, some were team-oriented, some were like metrics, getting customers, delivery. I mean, they're all over the board. And every single one we've been able to meet and create the next goal, which has been great. You know, cash and savings, building our team, increasing resources, making our delivery better. We were given resources and we were able to create a plan to achieve those things. And since working with a coach, it's been a year now, we've been able to achieve those and we're creating new goals.